Russian President Vladimir Putin looked startled as U.S. fighter jets flew above him, as Donald Trump put on a spectacular military show of force to kick off their high-stakes meeting. The reaction came just moments after. Hand in their first face-to-face meeting since 2018. 1 B-2 bomber and 4 F-35 fighter jets flew above Putin and Trump as they walked to the U.S. president's motorcade waiting for them in Alaska. The Russian leader appeared shocked as the jets took off, pausing his walk to look up overhead. Meanwhile, Trump appeared unfazed as he clapped his hands together in celebration after the jets took off in the sky. The B-2 bomber is one of the most advanced aircraft in the entire U.S. military arsenal. On Friday afternoon, the two world leaders shook hands after flying into Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. The pair is scheduled to discuss a potential solution to ending the bloody war in Ukraine. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and U.S. Ambassador Steve Witkoff will join Trump during his formal discussions with Putin. Before arriving at the meeting, Trump told Fox News anchor Bret Baier that he would leave the summit very quickly if he believed a deal could not be made with Putin. After shaking Trump's hand, Putin joined the president in his beast vehicle rather than departing in his own Russian motorcade. Putin appeared smiling with Trump in the back of the vehicle as the two leaders drove to a separate building for a news conference later. President Donald Trump said he wants his Friday meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin to produce results, or there could be consequences. As he spoke to the media aboard Air Force One en route to Alaska, Trump said there will be a price if Putin is not sincere in wanting peace, saying he would pursue economically severe punishments, according to ABC. Yes, it will be very severe. I'm not doing this for my health. Okay, I don't need it. I'd like to focus on our country, but I'm doing this to save a lot of lives. Yeah, very severe, Trump said. Ukraine will decide the future of its boundaries. But Trump said he expects the issue to be discussed. I've got to let Ukraine make that decision, and I think they'll make a proper decision. But I'm not here to negotiate for Ukraine. I'm here to get them at a table, he said. And I think you have two sides. Look, Vladimir Putin wanted to take all of Ukraine. If I wasn't president, he would right now be taking all of Ukraine, but he's not going to do it. He said security guarantees could be on the table as well. Maybe, along with Europe and other countries. Not in the form of NATO, because that's not going to, there are certain things that aren't going to happen. But yeah, along with Europe, there's a possibility of that, Trump explained. Secretary of State Marco Rubio noted that for Trump, H's hope is to interact with Mr. Putin tomorrow and sort of get a sense very quickly and early whether a peace is possible or not. On Thursday, Trump lowered expectations of a breakthrough, indicating this was the first step in a process. I think it's going to be a good meeting, but the more important meeting will be the second meeting that we're going to have. A meeting with President Putin, President Zelensky, myself, and maybe we'll bring some of the European leaders, maybe not, Trump said. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, who was not included in the meeting, explained his hopes for the session. The key thing is that this meeting should open up a real path toward a just peace and a substantive discussion between leaders in a trilateral format: Ukraine, the United States, and the Russian side. It is time to end the war, and the necessary steps must be taken by Russia. We are counting on America. We are ready, as always, to work as productively as possible. He posted on X. Earlier, Trump posted a 2-word message on Truth Social: high stakes. He wrote, earlier this week, Putin said the United States was making, in my opinion, quite energetic and sincere efforts to stop the hostilities, stop the crisis, and reach agreements that are of interest to all parties involved in this conflict. According to Reuters, this was happening, Putin said, in order to create long-term conditions for peace between our countries and in Europe and in the world as a whole. If by the next stages we reach agreements in the area of control over strategic offensive weapons,